Battlefield 6, the upcoming Battlefield game coming out on October 10th with an upcoming open beta happening on August 7th. Personally, I'm looking forward to it. I made a couple of videos already talking about just why I'm excited for it. I do just also want to apologize for the miscommunication that I had for my last video. I'm going to be comparing Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 6 because in some interviews, the lead developer, I think it was Vince Zampella or Byron or something, I'm blanking on his other name, we're talking about how they're really taking BF4 and BF3 as really, key inspiration for Battlefield 6. And today I really just want to kind of go over with what kind of Battlefield 6 is going to be trying to do different. Hopefully I kind of make this a little bit more interesting with some gameplay in the background of actual Battlefield 6 instead of just random, BF 2042. And also I'll have a little jump cut in here so you don't have to watch, this entire segment. But yeah, let's get into it. First thing I wanted to go over was Battlefield's identity and what they're really returning to. They're removing the specialist system that was originally in Battlefield 2042, which no one really liked, I guess. And they tried to fix the mechanics by going back to like the quote-unquote class system by benefiting those operators by letting them, get a bonus with a certain weapon and stuff. It wasn't that like good of a fix. Which they're kind of doing with the open class system, which I don't know why no one else really brings it up. But they kind of give the same effects of like, oh, if you have a sniper on the recon class, you can hold your breath or whatever, and you can do better stuff with a sniper. So it still incentivizes like you should use a sniper or play the class's role, but you can still do. I don't know. It doesn't make that much sense, but they still are having the option to play closed classes, which I'll be doing in the beta. I think it's like Conquest closed beta or closed weapons. So either way, what I'm trying to get at is they're really trying to focus on that milsim, or not milsim, but like milsim-ish, realistic, like modern military era, like kind of style. Sorry, that was a lot of fucking, yeah, that was just a lot of buzzwords, my bad. The one thing they have been pretty clear about is how they're not doing collab skins, at least right at the start. Who really cares, I guess, when the game's, dead. But, they can do whatever they want. It is EA after all. I mean, I got fucking robbed from $100, on Battlefield 2042. So it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not pre-ordering. Okay, I'll wait until maybe after the beta, and we'll see then maybe. But I mean, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the identity of it, kind of hoping that the story is really good too, to kind of mash all of that together. I hope they kind of have like a references to the other games. Like I said, Battlefield 4 is set in 2020. So they could definitely bring up the, past from that game, especially with how it was, the US and versus, China. That was kind of like the two, power heads, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, and the story. So it's like, they have a lot of work with, especially with the, really interesting story of Battlefield 3 that I can't really remember that much off the top of my head. I do know, like, Ink Slasher did a video on both of the stories, so if you want to, learn more, I'll ping him or whatever in the, description. But what I'm trying to get at is just the focus on a real, or quote-unquote realistic, or a feasible, like, setting that they're really sticking with. Technically, it is set in the future, so technically it could happen. Who knows? Hopefully it doesn't. But that gives them a lot of stuff to work around and kind of to mesh the story, kind of building off of the other games in the series, which I'm looking forward to. Next up is going to be player empowerment. And what do I mean by this? I mean like community, just accessibility, if that makes sense. Battlefield Labs is a huge example of this. And Portal, technically, becoming a, kind of a community home base, you could say. A lot of people are comparing it to Forge from Halo, which I never really got to experience. So I know, this might be exciting for me, if it's going to be that, like, golden age. But I've also seen, like, some tweets and stuff or other, like, sources just saying that they're not going to be able to make like new maps. You're not going to make like brand new maps, so you can't like recreate maps unless if they're on other maps. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm fucking, whatever. The one thing I want to, kind of just go over to is just their overall focus on just hearing the community's feedback. Does that make sense? Like, this entire game is such a win, as some people are saying, just because of how much they've, learned, at least, from, surface value, at least. We'll see obviously, in the beta. But yeah, like, the overall, like, support they've given to the community, I mean, for all, like, the like COD Next event that they held, like Battlefield Next or whatever you want to call it, as like the reveal is really cool, and I hope they do it for the next game, especially if they're this passionate about it. You know, each like interview they did, each like little segment, they just felt really like impressed with what they had, and I feel like that's a cool thing to know, is when they have like Battlefield Labs too, when they can kind of just pocket watch people playing it and then kind of let them see like, hey, what should we change, all that stuff. And I really want to just make this clear, no offense to any streamer or content creator. I mean, I'm not a content creator, but whatever, but I just want to say, like, too, like, I really don't care what, like, Tim the Tatman says about, like, the game and how, you know, you should run the best gun. Like, who fucking cares? Once again, I'm not going to be looking at the camera because my, you know, glasses are going to glare if I look. So that's why it's always awkward when I just look at the screen. It doesn't matter. I'll be in a little fucking rectangle on the side of the screen. Another thing I wanted to mention, too, was just the overall feedback I've been hearing, at least, and just kind of, like, the hyperscape I'm in, I guess, of how people just want, like, next-gen games. And I feel like that's a cool thing to acknowledge. For this being the first ever, I think this is the first ever Battlefield game that's just only on next-gen consoles, which I feel like this has taken so much longer for games too, bro. Like, COD is still releasing on the PS4, which, you know, that's crazy to me. Moving on. So I kind of talked about the most, like, important things, I guess. So I'm just going to talk about some new gameplay features that they kind of have bragged about. They have, like, a better map philosophy, you could say. They have been kind of like trying to kind of mix OG maps, kind of that nostalgic feel. And I've kind of got like some Bad Company 2 vibes from, I think it's the Egypt map, which I'm looking forward to playing that. I think that's in the beta. I think like Liberation Peak reminds me of like BF3, BF4 for some reason, just because of, like, the blue tint. And just kind of that overall, like, design of the maps are really, like, interesting, especially with the new strategic or tactical destruction mode, like, just features they have, which I'm looking forward to. I think it'll be kind of fun to see. No Levolution that they've really bragged about, which I'm really sad about. Levolution being a feature kind of in every, you know, kind of main title, I guess a little bit in Battlefield 2042, but it's really, like, who fucking cares? I think the biggest one is, like, the Siege of Shanghai map. You know, how the center skyscraper just crumbles down. I have a video of me playing Battlefield 4, if you are interested. Had to plug that video, I guess. And, like, some other things, too, like, you know, sliding, I guess. So that was in Battlefield 2042, but apparently it's, like, not going to be, like, slide canceling. It's not going to be, like, very, like, usable, like, a lot. Does that make sense? Like, you're not going to be able to slide spam or anything like that. Like, I know you can't slide cancel. I know you can dolphin dive technically. It's like a little bit of a, like, a nerfed one. It's like, think of like World War II, COD World War II. Think that for a dolphin dive. Like wall or like weapon mounts, I'm not going to use that because that gives me like fucking PTSD from, you know, Modern Warfare 2019. And I mean, yeah, they have a lot of cool features, like the drag ability that, you know, when you can, you know, revive people. That's a cool feature. I'll try to put up some clips of all of these stuff, by the way, too, in the background, so I'm not a fucking deranged person. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm going to kind of end this video again pretty soon. But I just wanted to say, too, that I'm going to be maybe streaming the open beta. You know, I'll definitely make a video. I'm thinking about probably just doing a video on that day, and then maybe on Friday or for the weekend, I'll probably stream both days and then try to pump out as much videos as I can. So that'll be the end of the video, I think. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was a better, you know, kind of in-depth, kind of just talk for what Battlefield 6 is doing. Hopefully it's successful. You know, I guess we'll see. And yeah. Yeah, pop out to the stream maybe, I guess. I'll put up all my stuff, but yeah. Bye.